Okay, good afternoon, everybody. We'll get started, so thanks for your patience. I'm going to hand over to Jaxton really quickly because I think he's got a lot of things he'd like to share with you. And can we just challenge everyone to participate? Because the idea is he's not really going to share a lot of theory or slides or whatever. It's really more about sharing, applying game thinking for digital learning. So they asked me to chair this session. We happen to know each other really well. So Jaxton is based in Malaysia, and he's very passionate about what he does. So he wants to use today more about being an enabler, giving you some tools and the kind of thinking that is required in order to be effective. And I know the big theme now is about using gaming in learning, so I think it will be a very worthwhile session. So I'll hand over to Jaxton.
Hello, hello. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks, Laurie. In fact, at my very beginning journey to learn about digital learning, right, I learned a lot from Laurie. So I know Laurie for years, right, and so happens she's my chair today, right. So I'm going to take you through some of this process, and we're actually going to have a pencil paper activities, some videos, perhaps we can run some demo as well, right. So, but before that, can you help me to understand a little bit about you, right? So, can you, who has already a learning management system in the organizations? Can you raise your hand? Right, so who claims that your learning management system is very effective? Is there anyone? Right, okay, so the reason why I asked, because yesterday I had a very interesting conversation with Laurie in the early morning when we met at this conference. So we talk about, hey, you know, we have so many learning management system provider here, right? So we talk about learning management system, whether, you know, is effective, and we look at it as like, we both agree, learning management system is basically like a back-end system. It's really about the process. And what we are doing about the gamifications and our platform is really the front end, that we engage the learner, we motivate the learners to do the learning, right? To come in again and again and every day, right? All right, so without further ado, let me have a quick introduction about myself, then we will get started about today's content. Okay, so call me Jaxton. So my journey, okay, I have a long journey, but cut it short that when I started game thinking, I learned directly from Game Thinking Academy founder Amy Joachim. I gone through a 3 months online coaching sessions to work on a project, because when I met her, I asked her, how can I be certified to run game thinking, you know, in Southeast Asia region? And her reply is, no, you don't, unless you work together with me on a project, either my project or your project, right? So I took the challenge. It was a 3 months like online, and then, you know, because the time zone different, right? So we worked on some projects together, and then I worked as one of the coaches at Game Thinking Live Global event in San Francisco early this year. It was a very interesting journey because I get to meet a lot of participants from all over the world. It's a global event that run by Game Thinking Academy. So I worked as a coach by the time. And then in Malaysia, I also run some innovation program with some of the corporates for corporate innovations that apply game thinking, the process. So these are my other credentials like GameFed, because I'm a very passionate gamifications designer. So I'm also one of the member under GameFed is International Gamification Confederation in UK. It's an international association. And I'm one of the members that we produce the business case for gamification in this part of the world, right? And my other credentials like NLP and Harrison Assessment, these are some of the companies I work with. There are some companies from US like Tesla, like Cisco, you know, Doctor.com. They're from US when I was working as one of the coach under Game Thinking Academy. And there are some of the companies in Malaysia as well, right? Apply the game thinking framework. So moving on, what is game thinking? So it is not gamifications. It is bigger than gamification, it's more than gamification. Game thinking, the game design part is about the gamifications, But it is really more than that because that it involves like design thinking, it involves like agile lean UX, like rapid prototyping. And this is the way that actually we apply the game thinking framework to innovate faster. Okay? So when it comes to innovation, how does it relate to learning, especially like digital learning? Let's look at the definition of innovations. Today I want to move a bit like digital learning to innovations. How does it actually relate? Today you see on here a feasible relevant offering such as like product, service, process, and experience. I truly believe today our focus are not content, but it's a learning experience that we create for the participants, for the learners, and we engage them that actually they come back, like they learn, they see the values, right? So how we can create the experience? Okay, so these are the 8 processes or the toolkits that we use in a game thinking framework to help our clients, right, to work together with our clients to help them to innovate in the process, right? So today, I'm going to run one of my favorite process, which is a speed interview later in a short while. But before that, I would like to share, okay, because we only have 1 hour, I can't cover the 8 processes, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cover the 3 powerful techniques. And this, actually I've been in few years in learning, and I see when I first time that I get to know like about these 3 items, Superfans, learning loop, and play testing is really new, it's like an alien's word to me, right? So I'm going to go through this, and how does these 3 powerful techniques is going to supercharge your innovation and drive long-term engagement. I think long-term engagement is a keyword, right? Because learner, you want a long-term engagement. You don't want to come in and then they drop out and then they don't want to come in again, you know, after a week, right? So let's go for a first one, Superfans. So what is Superfans? So Superfans, when in a game thinking, right, we're talking about early adopters or your early customer. But what about in the workplace context? If you are doing employee engagement, your early customer will be your employees, or your learner. But they have a high needs, high value, and they are very passionate about what you do, right? So these superfans will be the people that actually helps you to co-create your content and your strategy, right? So why we want to leverage on superfans? Right, so if you talk about today, digital learning is about innovation, right? So this is one of the theory, they call it DOI, diffusion of innovation. If today you are the 2.5% of innovators, you need to work with the 13.5% of your early adopters in order for you to reach out to 34% of early majority. So how it works? Because your early adopters, these are the people that they are very passionate, they are very keen for what you do, what you offer. And then they also want to be part of this initiative to help you to innovate, to do something new, something different for your workplace. And then how we could actually leverage the superfans to expand the base so that we can cross the chasm and to reach out to your early majority. All right, so if we're talking about the superfans now, right, let's do an activities. Okay, so I'm not going to do the activities of how you manage to screen your superfans, which is we call it superfan screening, identify who are your people. But instead, today we're going to do a very interesting activities, right? So you can see your handout on your table, right? So this is the game thinking handout, one of the activities that we do. Okay, one request. You may not do this with someone that you know very well, right? Okay, so you come together, if you are a colleague, then better you work with others. Okay, you're going to learn a lot if you actually follow the steps and you're going to do these activities with the people that you don't know them very well. Because today we talk about innovations, right? All right, so yeah, let's try something new. Okay? Right, so have you have your partners already? Can we have, can you have your partners? Anyone does not have a partner, I will have my colleague DJ or Laurie will fit into the role. Okay. So, let's flip to the back page. Okay, so here, today we are all learning, here is a learning technology, right? But why we are not talking about learning, and we talk about birthday experience. Okay, if we want to learn like design thinking or game thinking, right? Because we want to have a beginner mindset. Beginner mindset meaning today, if you are very good at what you do, when you want to learn some of this process, you don't want to dig into your professional area because it's very hard for you to learn something where, oh, it's learning and I know all this already, you don't have to tell me, right? So we want a beginner mindset. So we talk about birthday experience is really fun, right? So now, you read the background, you're supposed to design a birthday experience for your partner. Right, so first, without talking to them, can you sketch what would you want to design the birthday experience for them? Right, without talking to them, and you can actually sketch like we have like 3 minutes.
Don't talk to your partner first. You just think about, just by looking at that person, what do you think they might want for their birthday? And then later on, we move on.
Yeah.
So right now, just work on your own. Yeah, sketch your idea.
Right, do you have a partner?
You don't have to be an artist.
It's
just
good to actually have like
come
one
up with an
pair.
idea
I can
and
actually
just
get my
do a
colleague to join.
visual that represents how you would run that birthday party. What kind of a party?
They said they don't have partners. They want to pair with them.
So no pressure, whatever comes to mind. It's not school. There's no
Yeah.
right or wrong answer.
Yeah,
it's just brainstorming.
Yeah,
and
it's a
have a bit
birthday
of fun.
experience.
Yeah.
It's a birthday experience supposed to be very fun, right? So the draw, I also cannot recall it. 3 minutes each. 3 minutes each, and then after that, you have this another 3 minutes. Thanks, Roy. Thank you. You know this very well.
Have like a block in their mind, so it's just
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Right, 1 minute. Yes, I don't know. They will actually just read by themselves to ask what is the reference. 30 seconds. Okay, thumbs up. Right, okay, right now, flip to the next page, and there is a speed interview guide, all right? So this gives you some guidance, right? Now we move on to the next step, right? So you can do an interview now. Now is the time that you can ask questions, all right? So you have 3 minutes each, and then we will switch the role and we repeat the interview, right? Okay. Let's start now, 3 minutes. So usually, I think the first time they will just focus on reading. They don't have enough time. That's why I have the second time. Ask dig deeper.
This one here, you just get to know the person.
You just get the basic questions surface because they may not able to actually like dig deeper. So later we will tell how they can like ask to form a story.
Powerful to say that they must actually step back, they mustn't jump into the party. What you're saying is get to know the person genuinely first. Is that what you're saying with the second activity?
The second activity is like
this one
dig
here, the one
deeper
we're doing
about the
now.
experience and about actually get your people to tell the story.
This one here is more about just get to know your friend, just get to know them. It's only understanding,
understand.
but not about the experience here.
Yes. Oh, at the back, we don't have enough, do we? Do we have enough? But how are we going to brief? $30. Right, time's up. Can we switch the role? Yeah. Another 3 minutes.
I don't know if someone about jumping into already doing the party, but anyway.
Yeah. Some of them might pick it up very fast, very quickly.
The main thing is that they're thinking and talking. That's most important. They can always take the handout afterwards and read it properly. Allergic to thinking.
Huh?
People are allergic to thinking.
Oh,
Talk too loud because they can hear me.
yeah, that's right. I also never talk too loud. Yeah, then the next one is this one. Huh?
After that, you're going to do some more? Or?
You know, after that already, then we'll get them to do the 3 minutes, and then I will just tell, because this is that they will like compare what they do. Right. 20 seconds. All right, time's up. Right. Okay. So I bet you enjoy, right? As you still want to keep digging in more, right? Okay, I give you another round, right? Which you can dig deeper. Okay, dig deeper meaning focus, ask about their experience and get them to tell you a story. So we start with open-ended questions. Get them to speak out. You know, if you can actually form a story, that would be the best. And you jot down. Right? So how is the story? What are the experience, you know, that will, you know, that's really matters to them, to your partner? Yeah, for the party, right? Okay, so let's do another round, dig deeper. All right, so it's another 3 minutes, all right? And then we switch the role again, so you get to ask deeper, all right? Let's start now.
Just move to the next worksheet and now
Next
come
worksheet.
back to the party experience.
Yeah,
And
so
still do the listening. So just ask your partner what they would like as the experience. So now we're coming back to the experience, now that you've got to know them, and just dig deeper on, you know what you thought, then you got to know them, now you're going to see what they would like as an experience. So that's this worksheet that says design an experience that's meaningful.
Yep, right. Birthday party.
Yeah, we're back to the party now.
It's always the birthday party. Yeah, it's not about pitching, it's not sharing your ideas, it's ask more questions, dig deeper to the experience. Wow, 2. So, half an hour. Yeah, I need to quickly wrap up. Okay.
Debriefing will be interesting. We can debrief right at the end. Leave it some time to.
Yeah, but the debrief, I'm not sure how many. Do we have time for that? Because
You have a lot more slides. or do
yeah,
you have to
20.
take-
Get 1 or 2% share about the
Or maybe
experience
I can even just say, think about what you did
at the beginning.
by yourself. What are the things did you jump in already try and so I can just pick.
Yeah. Yes, yes. But the last one,
Here's the last one.
yeah, but this one also is actually capture a finding, it's not talking also. They don't talk, they're not supposed to talk, they will just write. Right here. Yeah, they'll capture it. All right, can we switch role and do the interview? This is the last round. This one we are not talking about. So this one is the second exercise already.
But is this the outcome of all this? We can just say,
Yeah,
by
you
the
can.
way,
Yeah.
you use this.
Yeah. You can turn it into a job story.
Yeah, and then you're going to carry on and give them.
Yeah, that's like.
Just so after you do this activity, then we just close off to say, okay, now you compare where you started to where you.
Yes. This is the. There.
In your PowerPoint?
Yeah, no, not in my PowerPoint, in my
You just
MacBook.
flick straight.
All right, okay. Now we come to the last part of the activities, which is reframe the problem. Okay, so now no more talking, right? So you have completed 2 sessions already, right? You get to ask what you want to know about your partner. All right, so the next thing is now your goal and visions, capture the findings, right? So you can write it down, use the verbs like what you're trying to achieve. And the second part is the insights, the new learning about your friends' feeling and motivations. What is something that they themselves might not be, doesn't see. Yeah. So okay, 3 minutes. Yep. Use the verbs like, for example, like what is your friend like want to achieve from a birthday party, like have a dinner, have a simple dinner, have a simple meal with close friends, family, or celebration, something like that. Yeah. Use the verbs as like the action words. Yeah, we go through the slide. Yeah. Right. Okay. Time's up. Right. So, what did you learn from the activities, or what did you learn about your partner? Anyone want to share? Want to share what did you learn? What do you think about the activities? Oh no! I mean, you share with everyone that what did you learn about the activities? Yeah.
Just something new that you weren't aware.
Sorry, we've just got time constraints, so can we encourage you to do that afterwards? The only thing is they might expect you to organize the party, and we're not responsible if that happens. But I can hear some of the moms over there getting excited. I can see a friend of mine, they're getting all excited. So we're just saying, please take away the handout afterwards, and then you'll see some of the next activities. So just for now, Jackson's got to end at, like in 25, 30 minutes, and he's got certain things he'd like to share.
Yeah, I have
so
some
please
slides
do
to
feel
share.
free to share, and if you want to get your partner to commit, that's really up to you. We leave it up to you.
Yep.
But just for now, what are some insights? Because the whole point of it is, where did you begin? What did you learn? And then where did you land up? So just any insights that you gained that you weren't aware of.
So for Paula, in terms of what I think she's trying to achieve, she's trying to create memories, I wrote creating opportunities for collective enjoyment came up as a theme, and also being herself, being in a relaxed state. And then any insights around themes that came through, maybe not as explicitly. I felt like you've got a lot of joy out of flipping people's assumptions. So, doing things in a very different way, so creating these unexpected, unique experiences yourself, and also finding fun in informality. So you'd rather have that than something that's more grand, but formal. So finding joy in a motel, or yeah.
Yeah. So okay, how was it different? How was it different from the very beginning without even asking? Then your assumption. How does it different from your initial assumption? Your thoughts at the beginning without even talking to her.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if she would like things that are more intimate or things that are bigger. And I think for her, I found it's not about whether it's a big gathering or it's a small gathering, but it's the informality of it, the fun that needs to be there, and the fact that it needs to be a little special, unique, and not what would be expected, that where she will derive the joy. I think, wondering what kind of size gathering she might prefer, whereas that wasn't really the question. Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I think this is the one of the learning point, because how does it actually relate to digital learning? Because in a lot of time we were designing something for the people that is going to use the system or the content without even asking them and dig into the experience. We assume that we look at the person, then we know this works best to them. And we will just design, we wrote it out, without asking them, without actually even dig into the experience, what they really want to achieve, like at the workplace, in the learning, how did they learn in the day-to-day life, right? Okay, so the activities, there's a second part, which is a job story, which is very powerful, because when you gather all the insight already, in order for you to form the job story, that job story will able to help you to form a habit story. Because today we talk about learning, it's about habit. How you build habit is really dig into the people day-to-day life and their experience, what really matters to them, what's worked for them now, and what is not. What is better than before questions such as like, how could it be better if you were given an options, you have a magic wand, right? So, speed interview, job story, habit story is the few steps that is really crucial in a game thinking process, because in a workplace, it's easy because your learners or your employees, they were completely out from your design when they resign. But in a product where it's very brutal. imagine you build a product like apps, right? You launch it without even figure it out, how you actually going to hook people with their habit and all that. When you launch already, when they download it and then they play for a few days, use a few days, and then they deleted the apps. And you lost the customer completely. They never come back, right? Okay, so moving to the next one. Okay, so we covered the first technique already. The second part is, the second part is very, very much related, like we talk about learning, right? Okay, so finding the fun with skill building feedback. Okay, so I love this visual graphics. Does anyone know Dan Ping? Right, okay. So today we talk about intrinsic motivations. So you look at these visual graphics. What are the keywords that you can spot on? Right. Okay, so first, I think you can look at it as like purpose, right? So purpose, how we actually apply the purpose in the digital learning. So what is the purpose? Like when you actually want to implement, you want to design a digital learning system, a digital learning or a learning program, what is does your learner have a clear purpose or they have a strong purpose that why they want to go through this, right? So if you figure out the purpose is so strong and it's very clear, you will figure it out how to do and what to do. Why we do what we do, right? Alright, so the purpose is very important. So this is more than extrinsic motivations. In a learning, it's always like a KPI things, and it's how many days. And now we talk about the intrinsic motivation, about the purpose. And the second part is about autonomy. Autonomy in digital learning is fine because when digital, you learn anytime, anywhere, with any device, right? So you don't really have a problem, right? But when it comes to mastery, all right, the opposite of autonomy is what? Control. Control leads to compliance, right? And autonomy leads to engagement. And only engagement will lead to mastery journey, right? But, complying might be very effective for physical survival, but it's very lousy for fulfilling, right? So at our classroom, at our workplace, there's so much of compliance and there's very little of engagement, right? So do we look at actually the mastery journey and you look at how actually we could engage the learner as very important. So moving on, I'm going to share with you some techniques about learner engagement, right? So, okay, this is actually one of the platforms that we carry. We talk about mastery journey. How many people think that your learner were able to visualize the learner journey within your design? Right, so in a virtual world, why gamification works very well? Because in a virtual world, they actually see the path. So how we actually bridge the gap of the virtual world and link to the real world where they need to learn. So one of the platforms that actually we carry, you were able to visualize the progress. Like from here, it's like travel from one planet to another planet as you completed certain tasks, certain learning process. And moving on, talk about the learner, the journey to mastery. All right, so if you look at it, it's the learner when they onboard, right? Then you break it into the journey. What you should do in each of the journey. So we look at it as like, okay, end-to-end experience. How does it evolve over time? Okay, if you look at discovery, discovery is for visitors. So how we do with discovery? Good example, when you want to launch a learning management platform, LMS, how will you communicate with your learners or your employee about what you want to do? And this is where they discover, is this the right thing to me, right? What are the value propositions? Have you ever thought of by sending out an email to inform, oh, we have a learning management system, or we have a social media platform, we have Yammer, right? So let's use Yammer. But why? Right? So how you actually like communicate with them? So in a consulting project, we help our clients to craft the invitations. We look at what other channel that we can reach out to the people and able to communicate with them, right? Why we want to actually have the digital learning. The second part is onboarding. Okay, when now we are on board to the system already. So how are we going to learn the ropes? Learn the ropes meaning we are going through the onboarding process. How am I know this is going to bring the values to me, right? How am I going to start getting value? And this is very important, which is habit building. How you get your learners to keep coming back like every day, right? To learn something, form a habit. And if they already keep coming back like every day already, and then what are the other values, what they can do with the system? In a corporate environment, when we do the journey, the mastery journey, you can consider that the power user or people that actually gone through the journey very well, they can be your coach, they can be your mentor. What kind of power that you actually give to them if they're already your super user, right? So, okay, then we look at the content strategies, right? So that's how actually we design content and how we actually help our clients to design content. So first, I think the storyline is really attractive because I think we all enjoy drama, we all enjoy movies, you know. That's how the story that actually engage the users and to stay on the journey. Like drama, every day, you know, you go to watch the drama, you follow, right? So the storyline content, and the second part is about engaging content, such as like, the engaging content, it could be like a bonding content. Later I will show some sample, right? So how on engaging content. We also have an act of kindness, you know, kind of design, you know, how you actually could do something for your peer in a day, you know, to get the bonding. And the third one is the core learning content. Okay, of course, it's about learning. So we need to have the learning content, right? But before you have the story, before you have the engaging content, don't even think about the core learning content. Because I believe everyone will agree, without engage the learners, they don't learn. It's not going to work that way. And then the last is insight-based. Okay, when we have a learner engaged, right, then we can ask some questions to dig into what really matters to them, such as like, this is one of the example questions like, oh, if I ask the question, if I could change one thing to make me more productive, I would. So this could be actually a potential reflections questions that you can ask. But think about it, if your learner is not engaged with whatever that you design, you don't get the good answer or the right answer from these questions. No one is going to be bothered about this, right? Okay, I guess you will have the slide later, right? Don't worry. Okay. Right, so the next thing, okay, storyline content. These are some of the projects that we created. Okay, recently we completed a business case for our clients. So I'm going to share an interview as well. But this is how actually we design the storyline content, right? And then look at the motivations, second part. Is anyone know LTAsia? LTAsia is a framework created by Jaxton Cheah, one of the gamification guru. So there are 8 motivations factors, core drive 1 to 8. If your learning content, you cover this core drive, there are motivations. If your learning content does not have any of this core drive, there's no motivations, right? But I want to cover 2 parts, which I think is very essential to learning. First is about scarcity and impatience. Okay, so I share with a lot of L&D professionals. Digital learning is meant to be abundance. Okay, imagine when we go into like LinkedIn Learning, whatever, Skillsoft, whatever, there are so many contents that you can go through. You can pick it up and you can learn, but there's never been a content that you actually complete, right? Right, you can pick a lot. You can actually sign up for 20 courses. It's meant for abundance. But do you know that scarcity and impatience is a motivations? How we use this scarcity and impatient motivation? Space travel, completed the learning already. Your spaceship is take off and you are travel to a new planet and you need 24 hours to reach the new planet. You cannot do anything now. You have to wait. And the next day, you receive a notification from your email. Tell you, oh, you reached the new planet already. Please prepare for landing. Get back to the system and land and learn the new things. And again, you need to wait for another 24 hours. Right? So we distribute the content in the daily basis. You completed the content already. Someone is waiting at 12 midnight to wait for the new content to release. Right? We have the business case like this. So scarcity and impatience. You want to find out more if you have created a storyline. You want to know what's next. When you land on a new planet, what are the learning? How is this new planet looks like, right? And the next one will be the unpredictability and curiosity. Okay. Who know? Anyone tell me this is drama? What we should have drama? Anyone watch? Yeah. Okay. So what is really happening in Game of Thrones? Why it attracts so many people? You never expect somebody will die, right? Yeah. So unexpected. You unexpected every time you thought that, oh, this is going to be the one that is going to last until the last, and then that episode itself, that person died. Right, so it's a lot of unpredictability. And it creates a lot of curious, you don't know what is going on. Why is so unpredictable? If you're going through the content, it's all predictable. Can you imagine what kind of motivation that you have? Right, okay, so, by the way, LTAsia is really good. Yukai is a good friend, and I really love what he does. Right, so you can check it out from the website. Okay, and then also there are some other tips as well. Okay, today we talk about learner-centered design, right? So, have you ever asked your learner to express themselves before you actually start pushing the content? Isn't it about the learner? Isn't it? So, okay, some example, okay, another one of the business case that we built, and the first chapter, we asked them to introduce themselves by key in their name and what is their position and what is their favorite movie. Okay, this, by the way, is a crisis management workshop. And what is their favorite movie? What is the favorite movie has to do with the crisis management? No, not related at all. But why? Because actually you just want the people to actually express, and they share, and then they share among them, the learner that know each other. They express what do they like, what do they do, And their team. Who is their team? Who is their team? And then, they share their teammate, So this is some of the projects that we did. And, there's a social interactions as well. Okay, so the next one I'm going to talk about, social learning. Okay, so we're all big on the social learning, right? So we think it's important, isn't it? Social learning. But how you do social learning without social interactions? Is it possible? Is it possible to have social learning without social interactions? Within the group, within the people? So, I think the platform and the design, we should have a way for the people to express. At the same time, they should be able to interact with each other. Nowadays, people are really used to vote, likes, comment, share, right? So you can integrate all this into the system, and you get social learning. Because when you interact with people, you learn from each other, whatever that they post. It could be something that's not relevant, it could be actually something of relevant. We have actually a mixture of the content, right? Okay, so moving on, the last one will be actually on play testing. So when we actually build prototyping, so we do prototyping from time to time for our clients, we call it proof of concept. The proof of concept, we build the contents, which is using clients' content, so it's relevant, and then we do the play testing with their employees. They test, and then we run the speed interview, right? And then we identify, and then we refine the process, and we iterate, and we launch it again with a different group. Okay, so how you do the play testing? Okay, so may not be very relevant because it's a workplace context. This is actually more for product and customer experience journey design, right? So how you do your play testing with whatever that you build, the experience that you want to build. You go up to like friends, family, close beta, and then you reach out to your early majority. But where are the Superfans community? They are here. After your team, you should actually test with your Superfans. Why you should test with your Superfans first before your friends and family? Because they are way too biased. They are your family, they are your friends. If you test with them, you might not get the right answer, right? So the Superfan is so important because these people are really passionate about what you do, and they have a high needs and a high value in whatever that you're doing. Okay, so this is how actually you should reach out to the playtesting, and then, okay, then comes to a video. Okay, let's watch a video.
Obviously, crisis management doesn't happen every day, but the intention was to ensure that everyone, specifically key personnel within the organization, are trained or at least are aware of what a crisis is, and when it does happen, what is expected of them. My name is Victor Sim. I'm the Managing Director of Martin Brown Malaysia Company, Sdn Bhd. I think gamification attracts, number one, the new millennial employees that I have, in the sense that it's digitized, it's a form of what we call social media, and surprisingly, not just the millennials, it attracts even the baby boomers like myself. In terms of its success, I think what it did was, consciously or subconsciously, it created what I call a lot of engagement. It also, in my mind, created, and I think this is something that you can't teach someone, a sense of competitiveness. And I thought that was really, really good. To the second prong, I think gamification, to a certain extent, has brought a new twist to the whole training program in general. And I think it's something that is very unique, very different. Throughout 100% of the duration of the game, I was very engaged in it. I saw the effort being put in to make it very relevant to what I do, to make it very relevant for my team to be able to do some work and develop and train themselves. To be honest with you, for me personally, it's the first time I'm exposed to something of this nature used in a training program. And all this together, I think it's something that, coming from one tool, it's amazing. It's amazing. You could not ask for any more. I mean, if I can ask you, create one tool that can put that all together, I don't think anyone would think of a game called gamification for that matter. Right.
Okay, it's one of our business case that actually we designed a journey for the clients to learn crisis management with gamifications design, and then the managing director was in the game as well, right? So this is the feedback, right? So I seriously encourage, we could think big, but we start small so that we can scale fast. Look at the prototyping. Every complicated and every complex system or design start from a small, simple product, workable products, right? Like this, or this one, okay? Right, so do we still have time for a demo? Or maybe, I think we will just, okay, if you want to know more, and you can visit booth A6, right? We can show you the demo of Game for Business, right? So I think, there's one more video. I think we'll just, short video. It's about one of the projects that our platform partner just completed for Coca-Cola.
Welcome to Revenue Poly, Coca-Cola HBC's virtual world. Revenue Poly is an online business simulation game full of challenges that can help understand how to reach our strategic objectives and how to grow our revenue in an ever-changing environment. In this playful simulation game, you are Coca-Cola HBC's chief decision maker, and you can shape the story, in which you maximize transactions, the revenue, and the volume sold. Evaluate your customers' performance, analyze market dynamics and competitive activity. Listen to your advisors and make business decisions that affect your consumers, shoppers, and customers. A series of mini-games will help you capture the RGM-related knowledge necessary to make the best decisions throughout the gameplay. Discuss your decisions with your team members and become the most successful commercial team. We will recognize your efforts with individual and group prizes. Seize the opportunity. Learn, think, play smart, and become an RGM expert. Be part of Coca-Cola HBC's success.
Right, so this is a pilot project. It's going to roll out for 28 countries, Coca-Cola. Right, so it's recently completed. It's one of the platforms as well we use to build the gamification journey. Right. Okay, so the last thing is, I believe that actually we wanted to reframe whatever that we do, right? We're creating the digital learning content for our employees, and acquire a new knowledge and skill, we could think of actually is in the innovation process. We could do it like a unique learning experience. Focus on the experience, all right? Not only the content, right? And then you can achieve more because at the end, in most of the gamification projects, we got sideways from the learning and we are actually trying to address a lot of like retention and engagement issue. And now we do a lot of projects is beyond learning. It's about employee engagement, design the motivations for the organization, right? Okay, so that's all my presentation. Thank you very much for joining us, right?
Sorry, any questions?
If you have
Any questions?
If you have any question, you can also drop by our booth as well. There we can actually share with you more.
Okay, thanks everybody. But if there are any questions, Jackson's around
Yep.
and we're happy
A6.
to answer any questions. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks so much
Thank
for participating.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.